Hey guys, what's going on? So don't usually do the Saturday anymore, but I've got some time on my hands. I thought, why not just do it with the community here? So this is basically it. So on the Saturday, I usually come down. I've usually gone for it on Friday, but yesterday I wasn't able to go through it, so obviously making up for it today. But compared to before, when I would spend a lot of time on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday breaking it down, I've got so used to it, and I think this just comes with time where you just get very used to it. So you can do it in a two-step process opposed to a three, because you're just so much better at analyzing things and looking for what you're looking for. So anyway, let's break it down. So we'll go straight into the weekly. No need to go anywhere lower. Starting with this, sometimes the monthly is pretty good, but I'd like to see where the weekly has ended. We're not towards the end of the month. Obviously the month has ended, so it's actually the only time of the month where it's actually worth just looking at where your monthly candles are as well, just because the month has just ended. So upcoming towards it and towards the end of the month, it's a good time. So this, usually the beginning of the month is a little bit longer, but not too much. So I'll just clear off my charts now, because these pairs were the ones I was looking at, but I don't want them to cloud my judgment in any way and have any emotional attachment to them. So I'll just remove them completely, throw them in the pool of instruments, and then take it from there. So essentially we'll just have a little look through there. Yep, okay, so starting from top down, we have our 29 pairs that we're looking at. Obviously I'm not trading some exotic pairs, but I think it comes to that time where you have to take certain considerations into trading certain pairs. For example, USD ZAR, we can't turn a blind eye to where we are in value areas, things like that. So starting at the top, we usually start alphabetically, Aussie pairs, CAD, Euro, so forth. So starting in with Aussie CAD, looking at it on the monthly, we are still in this range. Okay, there's no real signs of this having any immediate sort of pullback at this point, so I wouldn't really want to be getting caught up on a buy. It looks pretty good though. We have some sort of inflection point on the weekly. You can see that there's some sort of retrace, but it's bearish as well. So if we looked at it in an inverted way using Alt I, we can see that this is not anything majorly significant, a bit of indecision there. Going on to the daily, we can see that, okay, cool, we actually tapped into this, and now it's kind of looking a little bit like it could pull back. But am I going to take a trade purely based on this? I don't think so. I am aware that we do have this morning star in this region over here, which, okay, holds some level of weight. I understand that we have this corrective sort of level towards it. We are moving in a sequence here, which is also very important. It's always good to just kind of analyze these, just kind of look at how price is moving, the patterns you're seeing immediately. This is a very good sort of way to train your eye as well. Just kind of looking at things from a larger perspective, and then drilling down on the 4 hour and actually breaking them down and having a look at it. But I'm not going to do that. But that is just a way to let you know that's how my eyes are seeing things. I'm seeing those lines without having to draw them on. So when I am looking at this, I'm understanding that the sequence of things was impulse, correction, impulse, larger running channel, push down, correction, larger flag, came back up, retest, rejection. So how are we forming? Where are we? What sort of flags could we be looking for? Could we be looking for something a little bit larger now for us to drop off? Possible, very possible. But these are the sort of things that I kind of run through in my head. But also I would like to point out, because I did get a message from, I think it was Choco, and very, very good question he asked me. He said, at what point do you anticipate larger flags? Now, I think this is something that's also very important, because we have to understand higher up in the run, it's not very common for us to see larger flags in these areas. We don't always see them, right? We usually see the larger flags somewhere developed in the run. So, I think a good method that I was taught to use is the traffic light system. It's basically this green start. So this is your start, your middle, and your amber zone, your amber and your red zone. So 90% of it probably it's not worth usually touching unless the risk reward is there. Of course, we're on the daily, so it definitely would be there, but you have to understand the risk that comes with it. So we understand that in the green zone, it's very likely that these are going to be smaller. Sometimes you get a little bit of a larger flag, but these are your higher probability flags because you're so high up in the run, especially moving in with impulsive movement. So it's very difficult to catch up trades in here, but when you get them, you know that you're in a very good region, and it's unlikely for price to pull back all the way back into these regions the majority of the time, unless we are going to be creating something a lot larger to be continuing to the upside. In the amber zone, you can see once we broke into this amber zone here, you can see that we created one larger flag, two larger flags. Sometimes we can actually create something a little bit larger than that and actually drop off. So understand where you are in sequence. Now that we're coming down into this red zone, this is definitely an area where we can pull back into the amber zone, create something, and then maybe aggressively start to sell off. That's just something you have to understand, and then this becomes a corrective middle section, and then maybe we move all the way back up here, and then we're in this massive sort of range. That's basically how I would look at that. So I just wanted to kind of cover that before I kind of go into more of an in-depth sort of jump into this. But that's basically the basics of kind of doing this breakdown, and I think that's a very, very useful thing for anyone who is looking at charts and breaking them down from top-down analysis. So jumping straight into this, obviously looking at Aussie CAD, it's not really typically an area of interest to me right now. The only thing I would draw on is pretty much this line here, seeing how this retraces. If we do get a strong push up and then a flag over here, then okay, for sure this could develop into something very, very nice. So would I put this on watch? Probably, given how things are shaping up. Maybe not. You know, that's basically it. This bottom line is not really the most confirmed one at this point until we do have that push away, but we do have this sort of corrective sort of squeeze here. It would need a bit of time to develop, but I think if I was going to be getting into this, I would be looking for something more so in the run up here. So, you know, I'd be looking for the push above, kind of continuation in this area, and then we go, and then we create something larger and go. So, you know, that's basically how I'd be looking to take it. I think down here is a little bit risky because we are still in this channeling downward phase. There's more than a week ahead of us before we even go. If we get strong Aussie movement upwards, you know, then we'd have to take a message from the market. But for me, I don't think it's a pair that I'm going to be putting on watch, but it is very, very nice as well. So Aussie Swiss, very similar in some lights. We go down from the weekly. Let's see how the monthly ended, and we'll clear off this chart. We can see that on the monthly, we are basically looking actually pretty okay. I mean, we did kind of come down and fill this. We do have that bit of the, that I would say that's more of an anomaly wick, but it's more than likely that we will come down and fill that at some point. Yeah, looking at this, I mean, there's possibilities here. We are trading in a very good area, but really and truly my focus would be down here. Perhaps there's a lesson in there for myself, perhaps not, but I can't really see anything significant that's saying anything like this is going to reverse. It does look like it's just creating some continuation to come into the downside. So I'll let that play out and develop, do whatever it needs to do, and then anticipate. I would personally be looking for something within that. I'll go to the daily, and yeah, we can see now it's developing over here. And this is more than enough for us to start looking for shorts. I think a lot of people would be thinking buy because they'll be looking at the weekly and stuff, but you kind of have to read between it as well and understand that this is not a bad trade. Actually, this is pretty decent on the daily as well. So let's just take that, slap it in there, take this. This could pretty much make it on watch for, it's been a long time since I've seen this pair shape up. So yeah, not bad at all. So what I would anticipate here is I'll draw down to the 4 hour because now we can see the daily structure, and we have an impulse correction, continuation to there, rejection. Yeah, it's definitely forming up pretty nice. I would wait to see how this approaches this section here. If we do for some reason sell off and then start correct and make our way back up here, and we lead into something like this, then I mean, this is a lot to ask for right now, but you know, if we get something like that and then we get our 1, 2, 3 in the ending structure, breaking above. I think that could also be a very good trade. I mean, that's a lot to ask for. I'm really forecasting way ahead. I mean, more than likely we are moving aggressively. We break above and then we sell off. And then this is the sort of region where you'd be looking to go short. And I think that's the trade that I'll be looking for, really and truly. I don't think I will be taking any other trade other than that, because this move, although it's quite corrective at the beginning, it's very impulsive on the move up, and I would wait for the push down and flag that insurance entry that a lot of us always skeptical about if we should or shouldn't take. I think in this situation, this is definitely applicable. So I'll put this one on the side. Usually I mark them as pink, kind of come back to them. So yeah, Aussie yen. We had Aussie yen on watch last week. Let's have a little look here. So let's go to the monthly. We can see on the monthly that we also, we're moving pretty good. I can't see any solid signs of a sell-off right now. Honestly, I think if we were going to sell off, we should have sold off from down here. It's more than likely, looking at this right now. I'm not too sure. I mean, let's put the JP225 in here because I think it's very applicable. Let's see, JP225. I think, don't usually do that. Feels a bit naughty. Okay, cool. So we have weekly, monthly, we've broken above. This is so solid. Honestly, we've actually completed this pattern right now. Now, would you take this candle right here? Nah, I wouldn't. Absolutely not. I think given the circumstance of how we've approached it, even though this is structured, I think the final ending structure in the hourly is just very impulsive. I'm going to wait for this, let it do its thing, maybe even push up, come back down. If we get this, that's it. I'm in for this trade here. If we create it down here, I'm in for the trade down there. If we even create a larger one and we didn't get the first couple entries, I'm in for the trade there. There's going to be an abundance of opportunity here. Just stay very sharp, because this could shape up and be very nice to repair. So I think JP225, if you are trading it, this is the go-to, but correlating it with the JP pairs, let's have a little look. So going back to AJ, we can see that weekly, we're at this inflection point, and we have that one just above. If I go to the monthly, yeah, we've broken above, but this is now irrelevant. I think this sort of high is so far away that we're not even going to focus on it at the moment. I think looking at this, looking at it on the line chart, we can see that there was some sort of formation in there. This is a very good area to be eyeing up. We had a sharp move from here. I think we're in a very good area right now. Aussie CAD could surprise you, could just push up and sell off. So I wouldn't just jump into this trade because we're at this area here, but we have to obviously keep an eye on it. So we know two things. We know we can gravitate up here, or we can sell off from here. That's fine. More than likely, we can't really tell at this point. We just have to wait until the price. Let's have a little look. Give me a second. Yeah, I don't know. Something fell off my bathroom door, so this scared me. Okay, cool. So we have this section here. I think just have to really read between it, and then you have something like this, which could be in here, and then you have the internal structure in there as well, which it does kind of get you thinking. Where can I draw the line in the sand? And I think, okay, cool. We have the 1, 2, 3 leading up to this. More than happy with that. But then we have to also understand we have the override here, and then we have this. So there's only two ways I'll look at this. There's either we push down from this price here, and then we look for continuations in there, whatever, or we aggressively push up, we break above, then we push down, create continuation, and then we're in for the run. Those are the only ways I'm really looking at it. Yeah, I think that's it really. So two ways, aggressive push up or aggressive push down and a flag. Don't need to really drill on any time frame lower than that. You know, I think a lot of the time we think we need to get lower and lower and get granular because look where we are, and then we start kind of seeing this and we're like, oh, okay, let's go to the 15. Okay, cool. Okay, we're getting that push down. Should we go to the 5? And then we see something small, and then we're like, oh, let's take it. And then next thing you know, you're missing the bigger picture. So get in where you got more confirmation and you get a safer trade, and I think that's better for the run. So that's basically what I'm looking at there. I think AJ's definitely one up on the side there. Aussie, New Zealand. Woohoo! Okay, let's have a little look. So we got a nice little aggressive push away from here as anticipated. The monthly is probably going to be looking solid. Okay, so impulse, we're in that corrective state before we sell off. We're potentially going to be coming back down to this low, but we have 2 bottoms, 2 tops. Zooming out, it's just ranging. That's all it is, and it's been ranging since 2015. So more than likely we're probably going to come to the top over here, and then probably just kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. So this is the sort of price action we're looking for on this particular pair. Let's have a little look. So straight away that jumps out to me there, and yeah, I don't think I'll take that, but I'll put that over here. Yeah, and I'll wait for this. I want to see how this develops. It's so aggressive on the upside. I think, you know, like we saw with AJ and a few other pairs, we're probably going to see something similar. We're either going to see this push up, push back down, create a flag and go, or we'll probably see something very, very similar where we basically start pushing up here, and then we push down and create flag. So I think those are the scenarios where I'll be looking at the trades, keeping it very simple in that light. We either have this internal 1, 2, 3 expanding to the low, but the odds are we could most probably come up to this high before we go, and then we look at it and we're like, oh, okay, maybe it's something larger. So that is something that we should also keep attention to as well. Is this going to also be something that we should look at? So I think in terms of this larger flag, I don't know if we're going to see something that large before we get that drop off. And if we do, wow, honestly, that could be some aggressive move. Let's see pole to flag. So pole to flag, yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I think this internal structure is a little bit more probable at this point, but like I said, anything is possible. So with this ranging sort of price action, I'll keep very sharp with it. But AN is looking interesting, very, very interesting. Am I going to be entertaining this trade? Probably not this week, because we are looking at the daily, don't forget. And I think if we are going to be looking for trades, you know, we do know we are going to gravitate a bit higher. But because it's so aggressive, we could actually pull back and create something larger. And I think that's more than probable, where now we are in that territory where, you know, we maybe even move like this. Then we tap into that, and then we go. And then we're actually creating an internal structure here, which basically lines in with this, and then we go in for the long, and then we come in for the short. I think that's more so what I'll be looking for. However, we cannot stop this sort of impulsive price action. We're so close to this, it's very likely that we could create something. So, you know, understand that pullbacks are more than likely on this pair right now, and if you are looking to go long, be wary, because we could get a larger pullback because of this whole aggressive move. Aussie US dollar. I think Aussie US dollar is going to be an interesting one. I was just sizing this up to see if this was going to be a flag. Didn't really play out, so not really something I'm interested in. There was a decent sort of opportunity here which we were eyeing up. Yeah, I think if I was going to be looking at this, I would probably take it like that, and that would be the trade. Yeah. So I'll wait for that equal spacing, that large flag, and then we'll go. So I think that's one that I might put on here, but most probably, given how the aggressive moves we're seeing across the board on the DXY pairs, we may not see something like this, and this might just move. But nevertheless, this is looking pretty good. Larger flag, possible. I didn't really go on the weekly and stuff because I already knew what was happening. Okay, so we are basically just ranging in between this section in this area, but this is kind of the high, this is the low. And then if I go to the weekly, to the daily, we can see where the impulsive movement, corrective price, and then now this has become something larger, but that's not really the angle. I think it's just pattern separation here, and this is the beginning of something new. So looking at this new sort of structure, we just kind of have to see what happens, and we could gravitate all the way back up here before we even consider the sell. So just need to stay sharp with this because it's not looking like a solid sell at this second. We had the expanding, which was going to work in continuation to the downside. We didn't get it, aggressively pushed up, and now we're creating potentially continuation to the upside. There is the possibility that we can just sell off and back into here, create a flag, and then go and continue the run. So obviously bear that in mind if you are looking at trades, because that is also a possibility. CAD Swiss, I think CAD Swiss, I'm definitely not going to be taking any trades on this at the moment. It's looking very nice though because of where it is. So I'll just clear off the charts. There we go. And we'll just put this ray line here. And we can see how on the weekly, we've broken below. And we've actually created some nice sort of candle shape patterns in terms of a morning star. And then we've aggressively started pushing up. So in terms of that, it's nice, but this pair is very notorious, I'll be honest with you, and most probably we're going to gravitate back to this low before we even go up anyway, but we can't guarantee that. Obviously price will only do what price wants to do. Looking at this, we had a push up, we had this very large continuation where it was looking like it was just going to kind of come back down and kind of continue, but it is looking like it is moving to the upside. If we just have a little look at it on the line chart, we can see here that we are still kind of trading. Well, to be honest, now I look at it, it is looking a little bit better than before. It's looking a lot better. We had this sort of 1, 2, 3 to the low. We had this expanding here, or no, it didn't. And we had a nice little middle section in there as well. Yeah, that's not bad at all, is it? It kind of feels like a missed trade now, but it's not. It's not, honestly. It's one of them ones where it would have been fairly difficult to read between price, but we had the 1, 2, 3, and then as we see down here, we tapped into it multiple times. Yeah, not bad. There's a nice little entry over there. Just see it now. Interesting. Okay, well, anyway, look, we always gather these this information that we seek. So, okay, cool. Anyway, we can see that this was the larger flag to the upside, and now we're pushing. Could we actually get involved in this? Possibly. I think this is possibly the beginning of something massive, and this is the golden run. So, does this become a larger range? That's the real question. Does this bit of price now end up becoming a part of this? And then maybe we get something larger and then we take a bit of price. I don't know. But this does look very corrective on the way down and very probable for this to kind of come and make its way back up. So, yeah, let's wait and see, actually. I think CAD Swiss is one that's going to very much surprise me. I think I'm going to actually take this down to the 4 hour, and yeah, I think understanding that we have this high over here, if we can in any way create a decent flag in this area, let's say we've come down, maybe push down here, then push back up, push down here again, maybe in terms of a risk reward, yeah, definitely going to be a solid trade in there. I'll wait and see that. I think think any sort of flags in this area here now, if there's a decent risk reward in there, to the first target, but that's to the first target. And then if you were to size that up to the bigger run, which obviously would take a lot of time, we're talking, quite some time, it could move quite aggressively, but there could be a lot of scaling opportunity in there. And also knowing this pair, it could move quite aggressively on the bull run. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of very good interest. It's looking like we have that potential for head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Who knows? Yeah, I'll leave it on a reevaluation one for tomorrow as well, for sure. Now let's move into the next one, which is CAD-Yen. CAD-Yen is definitely as well structurally very nice. 1, 2, 3, aggressive push away, engulfing all that price. It looks like on the weekly as well that price has kind of just had a little bit of an extension. We can see that we had the 1, 2, 3 there as well, breaking above all of this, whereas liquidity seeking more money, and then we just have to wait patiently. Honestly, wait patiently for a push down, flag, continuation. That's it. That's literally all I'm going to be waiting for. And then we're going to see if we can actually run the minimum off this and then further down into the run. And then it actually just ends up potentially turning into a monster of a trade. And then next thing you know, you've priced positioned so well up here that price could actually even run all the way down here. And I don't even want to, just even FOMO into that. Just wait patiently, because there's so much opportunity in that, and this could move so quick as well. Given how the JP related pairs are looking, we could see some monster moves. And when I say monster moves, I'm talking like this sort of potential price action where we see price just drop off. In a matter of weeks, we just drop off, and who knows where we would be. But anyway, so CAD-Yen still very sharp, very good looking. I'm gonna wait that one out. Monthly, wow, honestly, look at this. Still gravitating to that high. I'm not gonna really waste my time trying to line things up, like going, oops, wrong tool. Waste my time doing things like this, because I think really and truly at this point, it just doesn't matter. We have just one area of interest. It's nice how that lines up though, for sure. But really and truly, it's like a waste of time, because then you're just kind of just putting too many lines on the table. We know that it all lines up. We know this is the true value area we're looking for. All we have to do is keep it so simple. I think staying on the monthlies will be there enough anyway. We can't really see any ending structure at this point. However, I think it's in development. We're seeing this sort of start. Maybe we see this as, kind of drops off a little bit more, goes sideways or whatever, and then we get another push, and then that's it. And then, we have this sort of ending structure here. Who knows? I mean, it needs time to develop. We're so close to the end. I think it's irresponsible for us to FOMO, but having this there as well definitely does paint something where we could see something like this, and then we could be in it for the year, and then we could see the move next year. But being so prepared like this is important. There'll be so much money to be made just understanding what's happening here, and I think that's one of the most important things, because if you just solely focused on one pair as well, you could probably make more than what most make on their portfolio. Really and truly. Anyway, moving on to the next one. I think Euro Aussie as well. Euro Aussie is honestly phenomenal. Looking at this on the weekly, closed off pretty good as well, honestly. Wow. Monthly solid. So we can see here we had this area, which is more so interesting. Broke above, push down, correct. If I just kind of go back for a second, you can see that we had a near miss here, right? If we go to the weekly, we can see obviously we broke above price, we retraced completely, we almost got there, but price just aggressively sold off. It is what it is. You can see on the daily as well, we structurally pushed down, correctively came to this high, very fair. And then we sold off, and we're selling off now. As we broke this, there was a very nice entry in there, and I'll just highlight that now. As we had the break here, there was this, and it was in the Friday market breakdown as well. We can see that there was entry in here, which I did take actually. I took out about 2%. I think I still got it on my object board. Yeah, it's still on there. So here it is. Yep, there it is. So this was the trade. I mean, it's pretty good, to be honest. Obviously, this is one of my most favorited pairs to trade. Is it the most profitable? I think maybe it is. Maybe EA is my most profitable pair to trade. Definitely one I've backtested a huge amount, which probably says something. So yeah, we had the flag and then we pushed down. Obviously, it's not the highest of quality trades. You know, one more push up and a sell off would have been great, but it's there. And then in the grand scheme of things, we have to also understand that we have this. So we have on the daily, where are we? We broke above this section here, and then if I just put it on the line chart, you can see left shoulder, head, right shoulder, completion with aggressive move away from the right shoulder. Now that we're moving with aggression, this could be the catalyst for this to begin its massive run. It could be a very good area for us to look for a little bit of a continuation pattern over here as well. I think with the start of this getting very corrective over here, could be a little sign that we might see something like this. And then that jumps. So I'm not going to really worry about these trend lines. It was just something off reference. Definitely this one does play a little bit of a role because it is the most significant point before that low, but more so I'm looking for this to smash through. I think we need to build a bit of momentum before we go. So the odds are, what I'm looking at, and we are quite early in the run, so it's not, I'm not going to ask for too much, but we'll be looking for a little bit of structure like this, and then we kind of just pop off Miguel. There we go. And then we pop in here, we create this little bit of a larger flag, however it plays out, and then boom, we're in for that run. And I think that's going to be a 10-10 trade. So I think that's what I'm definitely going to be looking at. I'm going to keep that on green, but we have to also understand that we do have this little near miss. I wouldn't waste my time focusing on that because we're all the way down here now, but we have to understand that that is there. But the truth behind it is, if we were going to go there, we would have gravitated from here and just aggressively moved there. So I think this, I'm more than happy to take it off and not worry about that for now, and actually just look at us meeting these value areas. If we hit these value areas and then aggressively start pushing up, okay, then there's a sign that we are probably going to be coming back up to this area when we start trading above here. However, we're all the way down here now, so we should be focusing on the shorts. Trend is our friend. We can see that a lot of the market is confirmed already, so that's basically it at this point. It's really nice. I think we were saying this on Monday, you know, we're having this correction into a correction, which is a sign of like market not really having progressive movement in the direction. It's just accumulating money here for this big sell-off. So you want to be getting involved in these runs. I think these are the most profitable runs, and they're going to be very, very good. Euro CAD, stunning, absolutely stunning. On the weekly, we can see that we have closed off very nicely. Similar in the sense that we had, we kind of tapped into it. I think there's a very tiny near miss there. Not so much relevant. Wow, honestly, this is nice. Whoa, so honestly, like, how am I not been looking at this pair? Euro CAD, stunning. So push down, expanding. We didn't complete the 3 touch. However, we have this sort of section here. We were waiting for the push up, the push down, didn't quite get it. We aggressively sold off. As we got to the bottom of the expanding, we created a squeeze and then we pushed through. Wasn't the typical type of entry I would have taken. Would I have refined closer to the 15? Still no entry for me, unfortunately. Just comes with a bit of risk. Nice equal spacing. You know, I did like how, I didn't like how it looked. I just like the area it was in. Absolutely, we're trading on the low. It looks like it's very much going to break, but nice little middle section. It has all the elements of a good trade. It's just unfortunate that it just didn't there's no reference point, you know. This, I always think about, you know, if you have a triangle and basically I'm gonna have to draw a triangle on it. So if you have this, right, and you put a plate on it, right? It's not really balanced. It's just going to keep rocking, right? Left and right, left and right. And then let's say that you put a weight on one side and I drop this weight on it. If I drop this weight on top of this, the whole scale just tips to the side, and then this is all the way down here now, and then the weight is on the floor. So that's the way I see it here. There's nothing for it to sit on, whereas if I had a pillar over here and then I had this plate on here, it's got something to lean on. It's not yet stable, but then if I get another pillar which is equal as well over there, then you know, it's more than stable at that point. It's basically, it's sitting where it needs to be. Over here, I don't really have the left pillar. So there's no real reference point for me to really say it's stable. It's kind of just, that's the sort of perspective I have for it, which is a bit strange, but yeah, just wanted to share that with you. So yeah, even so, we have that nice little push away, and then we're kind of just trading below it. I think this is time where we could be looking for some good entries. Really and truly, look, the high time frame is confirmed. We can see where we're going. We're moving down. You know, we're not coming back up. We have to look at target zones and potential areas where price could really pull back. So I think clearing off the charts now is definitely something I would be doing, and then be mapping in this. And I'll probably be looking for a continuation pattern into that low. Yeah, there's more than enough. You know, if we take flag to pole again, we look at it like this, and then we see something like that. Yeah, it could be trading into that. Even with this move from here to here, and then we take this. Let's say we put it on the break. Yeah, we could be trading into. I mean, we have to also understand that this can get messy. You know, I'll pull up the sections over here, and it will make a little bit more sense. You know, we had this aggressive push through the green section, we fall into the amber section, create this larger flag section, and then now we're trading over here. Comes with a lot of risk, but definitely comes with potentially a good reward as well if you do get something structured that. You know, would you turn that down? Probably not. You know, in terms of a risk reward as well, it would probably be there. You know, I think with a retrace as well, 18 pips, still could be 10% there. So that's something that I would look at very closely. And then obviously if it does break below, it could be an aggressive move, and you could be very early in this one. And then you go back and look at it, and then you're thinking, oh, right, okay, so if I take this now, where are you actually structurally? Well, I'm just entering the amber zone, so I could still be in the green. Well, you are technically in the green run at that point. So yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to base your trades purely on this traffic light system, but just understanding things in a larger perspective makes a lot more sense sometimes. Yep, so that's basically it for EC. I think EC is definitely one I'll be evaluating again. Pairs are shaping up. Honestly, it's looking very nice. Looking at the weekly. Weekly is not looking too nice. We have a push up, large continued creation there. I mean, this pair is just awful, isn't it? Just selling. You know, you think about it, like you sell in one of these areas, you'd be holding your trade. Just leave that on your portfolios. Interesting one though, for sure. Just makes you feel like you've missed out, but we haven't really missed out on anything really, because history is painting itself as we speak. You know, over here you could think you missed out, and then you had all of that, and then now over here, it's what, 2023. We'll come back in 10 years and look at this and be like, well, you know, when price is like doing all this and we're trading, like something crazy happens in the economy, and then we're coming back down and recreating everything, you know, hey, anything is possible. We could even trade in negative balances. You know, that could be a thing in the future where we're now trading negative. Don't think so. But yeah, weekly still looking good. I think we've been trading this till we get to zero, and then we're going to start again. I'm not going to put this on watch. Really Can't be bothered to really focus on this one. Some cool structures in there. Can't see anything that really jumps out to me. I think something like that is better. Absolutely. Once we can finally, which is a long way away, we start making it back up to these areas or even into this area, then I could look for a short play. But I think if it's not that, then I'm not going to be touching it. Euro GBP. Now, Euro GBP is still looking very corrective in this section here. However, I think if we drill in, we're probably going to see some better opportunities in there for sure. We still have that high over there, and then we have this low to be kind of squeezing in between. And then let's see on the weekly. It's so corrective, isn't it? We have this massive impulse up taking. Oh wow, honestly, crazy stuff. Go to daily. Okay, daily is actually in an interesting area. We are coming into this low here. I think it's one of them times where let's see how price reacts here. GBP is coming into this, might smash through and come back up, and then create continuation and go. I think this is probably going to be a later trade for a later date, but we are so close into this low. Interesting. Comes with risk, this trade. Wow, honestly, where we are. Okay, so what we're seeing over here is quite steep, to be honest. Quite steep. Yeah, I think we need some time. If we do get something like that, and then maybe in here, I think over here is where the trade would be to me. And then I'll go in for the sell there. Once we have that final little break, it's a difficult trade, to be honest. It's a difficult trade. I don't want to make things too hard for myself, so it's not my typical sort of trade that I'll be looking for. I think if it's shaped up, I think the better trade would be more flat. I think what I would look for is, call it two tops now. We have something like this. We come back down. We tap into this, and then we make our way back up here, and then that's it. You know, I think that's the trade that I'll be looking for. And then we look for that sort of final squeeze into that low, and then we push up. Could be the left shoulder. Yeah, I think that is how I would look at it. Am I going to put that on watch though? You know what? I'll put it on a thought, because we're trading into that low and we could move with some aggression. Considering on how we're moving as well, the long is there. You know, we're coming into that long, and I might as well be prepared for it, because it could come anytime soon. Honestly, that long, this could just drop off, and then we're over here, push back up, start going flags, and then we're in for a massive run up. So it'll be one I'll be looking for the long for sure. However, I won't cross off the short. EJ. Ooh, okay. So yeah, for a yen pair, this one is solid right now, man, honestly. So we're trading into this high here. Forget this one for now, it's too far away. JP225 is looking very nice. You know, we're over here, right above structure. I think we can remove these trend lines now. We don't need to worry about them. We have this override section. I think everything over here, it can be forgotten. I think we just need to focus on this sort of daily. Yeah, focus on the daily, go on to the 4 hour for refinement, and let's just wait. So we know what we're planning on over here. Going back to EJ, yeah, we can see the same. You know, it's just one of them ones where we could sell off from somewhere lower, which is, it is what it is. You know, EJ could continue going whilst other things are happening, but we have to be sharp and understand that, you know, we might create something internally, and we don't want to just miss that because we're too focused on what we just saw, and we might just create something like this where price just drops, comes back up, and then we sell. Not really what I'm looking for. I'm happy to wait for this. If this plays, oh, honestly, I'm going to be so happy, because this will be a beautiful 101 trade. So once again, I'll keep that over there. Euro New Zealand, beautiful trade. Honestly, ran about 56% that trade. Anyway, I need to get over it and just move on with life. You can't be living in the past all the time. Yeah, so what we're seeing over here is monthly is looking okay. This is a corrective move up though when you look at it on the monthly chart. This is just corrective. I wouldn't be surprised if we just start aggressively selling off. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking we are in some selling territory right now. Look at that sell last time we came here, and we aggressively pushed back up, but this was looking good for the sell as well. I'll be honest with you, that section over there, or if we had that as a continuation, we would have been in for a very good move. We pushed up aggressively, but it doesn't look like we're continuing, because if we were going, we would be going. Are we going to go into a correction, into another correction, and then just sell off? Maybe. Do you know what? It's looking very ugly right now. It's looking very ugly to me. I need to evolve this. I'm just going to clear off these charts one more time. Let me have a quick look at the weekly. And yeah, if we look at it from here, okay, we've tapped into this little section over here. Last time we came here, we just sold off. So very, very interesting that we've had that already. We started aggressively moving back up, but are we aggressively moving back up to test this section, or what are we doing? That's the real question. And I think I can't really give a solid answer here. I can't really say, we're going somewhere. I mean, look, this was a little hook point here. We tapped into this little hook point, and now we're selling off. So if I break this down now, and I look at it from that hook point, we had this correction, probably not the best one. This one was actually pretty decent, actually. Let's go on to, let's actually zoom in and check that out. 15 minute. Ooh, okay. Steep. These are some steep flags though. So we had this one over here. Probably wouldn't have touched that. We had this one over here as well. Wouldn't have looked for something that large there, but it's 15. We have this one, like I said, steep. But on the hourly, we're going to have a second look at it. And I think here we're creating another one. Oh, if we get that, it's not going to be too bad. Just have a little look on the hourly. Yeah, on the hourly, it looks a little bit better. Okay. So corrective, isn't it? This is just so corrective, this whole move. Too many continuations, not enough impulse. Yeah, I'm not going to touch that. I think really and truly, if I was going to be trading this, I'm going to wait for a break below that. I want to see this just somehow make its way correct, and then just drop off, and then maybe create something larger, and then we go. That's the only one I'll probably take, so I'm not going to touch that. It's just too corrective. Honestly, it's just so corrective. Yeah, it's not worth it. Let's go to Euro USD. We can see weekly. Yeah, one of them ones, isn't it? DXY, we're still waiting for that short. It's one of them where I think give it time to develop. I'm still looking at price potentially coming up here. So if I go to Euro USD, price, I'm just gonna wait for price to do its thing, man. Not gonna waste my time jumping into trades in and out. Let's see if there's a nice little flag to the downside coming up. Let's have a little look. Yeah, boy, that's what I'm looking for. Corrective. Not my corrective. Middle section. Maybe it becomes more of a wedge, who knows. This is probably the trade I would look for. Yeah, for sure. And then we get that sell into here. Works out. I think larger flags is the one that I would look for sure. But there's so much corrective price, man. I think it's one of them ones that's really gonna mess with us. Just have to learn from it for sure. But there's a lot of structure in there. Like I can see so many opportunities on this sort of run down in itself. It's nice to see when you're not trading, but when you're trading, sometimes you're just blind to it. You're just too busy focused here. Your attention is just gone from here. But anyway, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm going to look for something larger. It would make more sense in the grand scheme of things. It could become a lot larger than this, though. It could even just become something like that. and then we see this larger section here, and then it sells off. But more so, I think if I was going to take a trade, I'm looking for something like that. It's just right now it started off quite impulsive on the way down. Not the typical sell. Sorry about the yawn. Moving on to GA. GA as well. Wow, honestly, man, I'm going to just clear this off for a second and just go to the weekly. Okay, cool. Keeping it very simple. We have a near miss right now, which is right there. Okay, cool. We haven't really filled this yet. Do we need to? Not so much. Look at that weekly close though. Damn, that is no way. That's unbelievable. Honestly, that could be enough, but let's have a little look here now. Look, ending structure. We're not really having that corrective push away though. I mean, GA has really messed me about before though, honestly. You know, how it has this nature of just, it's going to do something, honestly, just, you know, just do something like that. And it's done that a few times to me, so I'm going to wait for this one for sure. But if we do get some level of a continuation, not that big, if we do get something, if we clear this price and start continuing down here, for sure, you know, that's a no-brainer. I mean, for that impulse, you're probably going to look for something a little bit larger, but it's a no-brainer. I think looking on the hourly as well, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get some sort of, and then we drop off a little bit. That is more so something I would look for. And then maybe we get a head and shoulders there, but then the odds are we probably gravitate all the way back up here. Maybe tap into the high and then sell off. I really wish we broke that high and pushed in with this. Look at that flag, honestly. Opportunities, man. Opportunities. One right there. One right here. One in there. One over here. What the hell? How am I not trading this? Easily missed. We even just have one. I mean, these smaller ones become less probable at this point here, but GA, you know, GA is notorious and does this a lot. So you will see the best sort of formations when it's ready to go, but you have to be sharp because leading up to this time, you get all this mess, you know, you get all this mess, and then all of a sudden you get this beautiful price action, and then you get mess, and then you get beautiful price action. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting pair to trade for sure, but when you get these price action moves, you want to be in these runs. You want to be in these runs for sure. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for GA. I'm gonna come back and evaluate that one. Let me mark that as blue. There was another one I said I was gonna evaluate. I think it was CAD Swiss. I'll come back and look at that one again. Yeah, GA, man, son of a gun. Let's see. Let's clear that. So we're looking at GBP CAD. I think GBP CAD is looking actually pretty decent. Let's quickly just check over here. Okay, so we can clearly see that we broke this low, we pushed above, now we're aggressively moving to the upside. Where are we moving towards? Let's have a little look. This is a very ranging pair. Wow, this aggression is quite rare for this pair at the moment as well. So seeing that it does not like being in this area. So typical good tip is when you see something like that, you want to for sure be looking at areas like this, because when you see price move like that, when it comes back down here again, you're probably going to see very similar price action, most probably. So yeah, this is an interesting one. Okay, so if I break this down, we can see that, you know, we had this sort of corrective move here. We had a correction as we broke above, and we're going to be moving even further. So we need to be pricing ourselves very, very strategic. I actually think right now, and I say this a lot, isn't it? Fuck me. Let's have a little look. Yeah, fucking. It's good. It's good. Look at that. Have this larger correction here, which that's fine. That's already played. And then drill into the 4 hour, just get a little bit closer to that. We can see over here, we had a push down. What are we pushing away from? We're pushing away from anything. I like it. I really do like this. I think this structure here is its own piece of its own information, and then we had a nice entry for this long here. It's a 2-touch though, so understand the risk that comes with it, so I'd add a little bit more on. Yeah, you'd be running around at 3, it's come all the way back down, so you'd be out the market anyway around about here. And yeah, interesting. Do we become a running channel? I want to know what's happening. Oh my days! It's annoying. I just want to know what's going to happen. You know, these are the things that frustrate me in the markets. You know, when you don't know what's going to happen, which is basically trading. You don't know what's going to happen, but you know what could and possibly happen. Anyway, that's basically it. Oh, I want to get in that trade, man. Let's wait and see. Give it some time to develop. Give it some fucking time. Yeah. You know what? We could get some decent trade though. I think. Yeah, I like this a lot, man. Honestly, this is something I really do like this. This is definitely a buy trade, but I don't think I'm going to get the trade, so I'm going to take that. Weekly. Yeah, it's good, you know. Honestly, like sometimes you see things like that and they just jump out to you and you're just like, oh, honestly, man, that's my trade. Okay, cool. So we can see there's this very nice typical price action. We're seeing something similar. Maybe it's going to mimic itself again, and we're going to see something quite similar. Why do I keep using that tool? I'm going to remove that tool. Hide from. Oh, fuck me. Okay, let's go back and let's just take off ghost feed. Okay, cool. And I'll put this one in here because I like that tool. And then we'll see something like this mimic itself, but I think the mimicking is done. And then yeah, we just basically go in like that, and we're going to see something like that. But the truth behind it is we have kind of got a 1, 2, 3 over here, and we've broken this low. We had that low, and then yeah, we've, you know, there's more than enough. This could be the buy. This actually could be. I mean, what the fuck is this pair? Honestly, GBP Swiss. When you really look at it, you're just thinking like in 19 whatever, we moved from the pound being at. I mean, that's a crisis. That's a full on. You know, like what happened to the Swiss franc at that point? We just. Hey, look, listen, the pound is worth 22 pence a franc. And then tomorrow, oh, pound is now worth 6 francs. What the fuck? Okay, anyway. Pound, Swiss, all the way down here. Wow, honestly, it's mad. So for every pound you get 138 Swiss franc, and then your dealer takes a commission. Anyway, nice little pattern in here. Going to the weekly. Oh man, this is a place you want to be pricing yourself. Banks, institutions, lucky people right now, because they can make some bucks. Honestly, with their big capital, they can just be buying in pounds, man. Buy pounds, buy fuckloads of pounds, take them to fucking Switzerland. You know. I mean, the thing is, like, you look at this and you think, whatever. The next thing you know, you're trading all the way up here. I mean, I've got on a 747 position. Let's just move that in here. More than likely, we're probably not gonna get that entry, but let's have a little look. It's possible. Yeah, boy, get that tight. Even with a 40 pip stop loss. I mean, I'm looking at the weekly, bear in mind. I'll go down to the daily. And let me just look at this on the technical standpoint. Got that here. Yeah, let's evolve that. So okay. Well, interesting. So yeah, let's say that we do actually end up coming back in, and this taps into this and then sells off and comes down here, and then we do get a push up and a flag. That would be furious. Phenomenal trade, honestly. And let's say you get in the flag, even with, I mean, I would want to go risk for sure, but let's say you went reduced, even came up 100 pip stop loss to this high, you're looking at about 5%, and then you priced in so well in the market. Yeah, honestly, it's not really the most fastest moving pair though, for sure. You know, I think for sure we could definitely refine this, even get in a better position size than 100 pips. Could be looking at something like 20, to be fair. I think 20 pips would feed you for a lifetime. Like, wow. Yeah, honestly, to that high, we're looking at up 30%. All right, let's have a little look. So, in terms of time frame, how long did that take? Yeah, I think this needs a bit of time, but this could be a next week trade for sure. I'm not going to be looking for the sell into this. I'm going to be looking for the future buy. I think for sure I'll be putting this in purple. Yeah, I'll leave it on dark blue, meaning I'll have a look at it later, but I'm not going to be putting it on watch. Another yen pair, I knew it. Just saw it and I was like, yeah, for sure. This is looking so nice. So we have this little hook point here where we tapped into it, we just aggressively sold off. Very, very nice thing we're seeing about it is on the higher time frame we have structure, but then in the lower time frame we also do have structure. That's the thing, but the structure is not the cleanest. We just having very, very lower time frame corrective squeeze. I'm not really going to waste my time reading between the lines too much, but we can just see it's very corrective. Oh my days, such a good area. This is where patience is so key, honestly. Like, I think I've said it every week. Just let it do its thing, and then boom, next thing you know, you're thinking like, wow, why is it so obvious? It's been so difficult. And then the next thing you know, you have this sort of break above, final ending structure pushing above, catching people on the wrong side, and then bush, sells off. Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely stunning. And next thing you know, you're in for a massive trade. Patience is the absolute key to succession. So, can't really say much else about that. GBP New Zealand. GBP New Zealand. Wow. Okay, weekly we've closed. We've broken above this. We've retraced on the daily. Phenomenal. What on earth have I been doing? GBP New Zealand, here we go. Look at these. Honestly, I want to just point out one thing, right? And I've said this in countless videos over so many breakdowns, maybe even back testing. This pair is one of the sickest pairs for selling off, honestly. Like, New Zealand pairs get me so fucking excited sometimes. So look at that and just mimic that over here. In no time, we could be trading all the way back down here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, I'm going to be looking to get involved on this pair. This one pair alone, I'm going to buy a yacht. Let's see. What is the size on that though? If I keep cards, yeah, it's massive. You could day trade this on a side account anyway. Let's see. So, and we're getting a continuation. How much more beautiful? I couldn't ask for more. Honestly, I'm looking at this right now. I'm thinking, what have I been wasting my time on right now? Honestly, like, what on fucking fuck? This is fucking nice. Sorry about my swearing, but you don't see things this nice ever. You know, it's just, it takes a long time for you to get something this good. Whew. Okay, let's just clear this up a bit. So go back to the here. Okay, so we've broken above. That's all that's important. We know that there were some structures in here. It is what it is. We've led up. We're in here. That's all you need to know. Like, really and truly, boom. The context in here, phenomenal. Okay, oh my god, like, so much goodness in this. All right, we had this massive push. This is what I'm talking about on the yen pairs. You're seeing the yen pairs doing all this bullish momentum. Boy, when the sell starts happening, that's when you're going to be like, hey, I want to be a trader. And then next thing you know, you're not ready. Mindset wise, you're crushed. You've lost all your accounts. Blown. And then you're all the way up here and you're thinking, I've got no money left. I ain't got no time. I'm just going to sit out. I'm feeling sorry for myself. And then next thing you know, you missed out on all of this succession, man. Success is just around the corner. You just have to be ready to take it. Honestly, just be ready to take your success. So this is basically it. I can call it a big expanding. I'm just going to read between the lines. I'm going to look for this, man. Honestly, I'm going to wait for prices to come in over here and then FOMO. Just jump it. No, I'm joking. I'm just going to wait over here. The odds are it might just sell off. It could just sell off. I think being a bit more. So how many pips is this move anyway? Yeah, it's quite large actually, to be honest. It's quite a large flag. But to that low, days away. I ain't got days. I got minutes. Yeah, I think really and truly you want to get that refined position in there. If I just move that to the low, yeah, you want to be getting in over here, protect yourself. Maybe you could even get 20 pips. Oh. If you can see my facial expression, luckily you can't. No, but really looking good. It's looking so good. I think this is gonna definitely be a definite watch. What the hell? I mean, wow. GBP US dollar as well. We've tapped into this area straight away. You can see on the 4 hour. Go to the weekly. See on the weekly that we just kind of like, yeah, okay. This has some sort of interesting sort of vibes to it. Seeing something like that. We're now trading in a new pattern, which is I would say it's around about here. It kind of comes in that scaling I was talking about, where it's just like it's not really ready for me. Yeah, I'd give this one some time. It's not. I mean, I might be missing something. Let me just have a quick look on the weekly again. What about the monthly? Yeah, not good. Not for me. A nice retrace off this though, honestly. So if we just move that line over here, and then we see it on the weekly. Broke above, pushed in, created a flag. There's too many variations of things right now. I mean, I'm pro bullish on GBP pairs and have been for a very long time, but when something like this kicks off, it really bothers me. I'm thinking, But one thing that kind of is a positive for the bulls is this massive push up. If we were going to sell off, we would have just started creating some nicer patterns and started moving quite nicely. Doesn't look like we're getting that right now. It looks like we're just getting more mess. I'm going to leave that one. What did I just do? GPUSD. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one. It's not really, it doesn't jump out to me. Nothing there. Need something to smack me in the face. Man, I feel like crying sometimes when I see this pair. Zoom CAD, man. You are such a good trade. Okay, so I was analysing this last week. Saw it on Friday. I didn't take it. Actually, I did take it, and then I thought. I said to myself in the morning I was going to take one trade, and I took one trade, and I made like 3% or something, 2%, 3%, whatever. Then later on in the day, I saw Kajen and I saw this pair. I was like, oh, they both look good. Kajen's just not ready yet because the yen pairs haven't just synchronized. So New Zealand CAD, I saw New Zealand CAD and I took it. I'll show you what. So on the weekly, let's just see how we've closed. Aggressive. Full wowzer. Okay, we do know that there's the potential for this to go up. We do know that there's a small inflection though. There's this point here. We could just aggressively push off to it. You can see that this is crazy in terms of the sell. Catch people on the wrong side, so we need to get involved there, right? We can see that we're moving down aggressively. There was a nice expanding in here as well. Move out into the 1 hour where you can see it and analyze. We had this sort of correction over here, and then we had this expanding. 1, 2, 3, equal spacing, very nice. And then we came up here with the retrace on the hourly, very clear as day. Entry was taken there. Would be running around about 2.53%, 2.54. In fact, the 15-minute, you could have even taken the trade up here and gone for the more tighter stop. That would have been a pro trade, but with what risk? Especially that it was kind of leading into time. I mean, it wasn't for me. Anyway, so I'll just clear this one off quickly. Lock that and hide that. So go back to the 1 hour. We can see that, we had that nice little push away. It was looking a bit choppy here, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. It had me a little bit like, but anyway, came out with a tiny profit of 0.2%. At the end of the day, could have held it and stayed into a very good trade. Just chickened out, man. I was a bit of a chicken on this trade, so it is what it is. Now I'm just going to wait to see how we tap into this inflection point to potentially see the long. I may not put it on watch because I hold some emotional attachment to it. It's bothering me, but maybe tomorrow I'll get over it. New Zealand Swiss. Yeah. It's one of them ones. There's just so many better pairs on watch. We have this inflection point. I think the only way I'll be looking at this is, keep that near miss there. Don't care. We come back up, we tap into this, we retrace, and then maybe we get some selling opportunities back into this low. That's how I'd look to take it. Really and truly. Yeah. That's it. Kind of just thinking about all the variations of what could happen over here, and I think something like this, but then again I'm looking for the push up anyway. Let it be what it is, and then there could be a trade in there. Do you want to wait for that? Maybe. I mean, I'm looking for some sort of corrective price action. I don't know. I'm going to wait for this, to be honest. We're trading solely into... Yeah, I mean, this pair, honestly, it will sell off and maybe even pull back quite aggressively. It might even have a good sell-off. I don't know. It's really not a pair I want to be jumping in right now, so I'm going to leave that for sure. It's good. Looks good, though, for people who want to trade it. Let's see, New Zealand yen. Another yen pair. I think this was the one that I kind of just phased out on, and I was like, nah, it's done. So we had this sort of corrective. We had this push up, corrective price action. It does look like it's going to move up further, actually. So if I move into the daily, I think it comes a lot more clear because it is quite messy with the range. We broke above all of this, and then we retraced back in. As we've retraced back in now, we can see that we have this sort of, we were looking at a flag here, we didn't quite get it, we sold off, and now we're just pulling back. Maybe we come back to this area, we do create a 1, 2, 3 in this area where we get something like that. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave this one off as a yen pair, not really something. I think if I'm going to be looking at it, I'll be looking for maybe this to come back down, push, I don't know, man. Go back up here somewhere before I look for a sell, but there's too many yen pairs, and I think there's so many better ones on, so I'm not going to waste my energy and time focusing on something that isn't very clear and doesn't jump out to me. I think I keep saying this, and I think it's something very important. It needs to jump out and smack you in the face. Then you've got this sort of New Zealand US dollar, drops to the bottom, push back up. I like this. I do like this, especially with US dollars selling off, or with the big sell around the corner. Could be big for New Zealand US dollar. Big. Like, I'm talking massive. Big Mama 5. Let's see. So we have Yeah, we've got so much energy. Don't know what I've been doing, or what I haven't been doing. Let's see. So we've basically got push up, and then we got this flag over here. It's just corrective in this area as well, to be honest. Could be a big, I don't know really. It's just not. It's just a push up at the moment, honestly. That's all it is. There's nothing that really says to me amazing trade, but we saw this with Aussie CAD, Aussie Swiss, yes, Aussies, no, it was Aussie US dollar, that's it. You know, we kind of just, no, I don't even know which one it was now, but we saw this before, and we might possibly, yeah, I don't know which pair it was. We might possibly get a flag here before we just aggressively move up. So we might get something like this, and then it comes back down, and then next thing you know, we're just aggressively moving upwards. So I've seen that happen quite a few times, to be honest, and there's no entry at all that meets this strategy in this way because of how aggressive it is, but the entry was here. And then you have to ask yourself, like, was this something that you really couldn't have taken? And I think understanding this pair, I could actually take advantage of something like that. Looking at this on a higher time frame, though, I'm actually just seeing this as a massive sort of squeeze low. There could be a bit more of a sell-off on this before we even look at a long. We are trading at this low though, so it's more than enough. But let's have a wait and see. I'm not going to FOMO into this. I'm going to leave this one off watch as well. I don't think I want to waste my time right now with this one, just because I think I've got an abundance of stuff to break through, and I think this will make it compared to some of the monsters of trades. Wow. Okay, so USD CAD, you know, looking very nice. We've got a near miss though, unfortunately. You know, we have a mini double top near miss there as well. Oh, honestly, I was anticipation. I had this on every week since about 3 weeks probably, since I started when I came back for this quarter. I think we had the same thing. So yeah, essentially looking at this 1 2 3 into this, we had the 1 2 3, but we didn't kind of push up and break back in. We had the mini override over here, so the high just before this one, and then we scooped kind of M-star, and then we just sold off. In a way, very good in the sense of structure there. Could I have taken advantage of that? Very possible. Yeah, I could have been in a monster for trade, but maybe I would have been out a couple of trades prior to it. There would have always been that high that we did tap into that bothered me, and yeah, I just don't think I would have. I don't think I would have wanted to opt in for it, to be honest. I think I would have just left it. So yeah, I'm gonna be quite happy with this one, to be honest. I'm just kind of thinking about it, and I'm not really too concerned because we do have that near miss. However, the gravitation to the low is very clear right now. UC could easily make it on watch. I think looking at this here, we get something like that. Boy, that trade is going to be a monster, honestly. We could just see this fly from here to here and then take that. Honestly, I'm looking for that. I love USD CAD, man. I would opt in to put that in and take out something else for sure, but would it make it? That's the question. Let's wait and see. USD Swiss. Okay. Now USD Swiss is looking good there. We have the near miss to the low, very obvious near miss. We've come up to our inflection point number 1 over here. We can see that we pushed up, we pushed back down, but we're actually just kind of hovering around here now. Not what I want to see, to be honest. I want to see it break above. I think what I've drawn on here is probably what I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to wait in anticipation for this to just correctively make its way eventually get its way up here, but maybe push up, push back down, and then we go in for the run. I think I said that before as well when I was looking at this pair. USD Swiss is not ready yet, but if the DXY does start to sell off aggressively, well, we'll have to wait and see. You know, this could just sell off, and then the next thing you know, we are ready, and we did have enough. And then we see on the 1 hour to that inflection point, we did kind of just reject, push down, flag. Got a little bit creative with price, but yeah, not what I want to be jumping in. UJ, honestly, man, just go already, man. Waiting for it. We have this inflection point. We have a nice evening star there. We are pulling back up. Are we pulling back up to take people out of the position before we sell off? It's a very good question that I've been contemplating right now, because this was all because of non-farming payrolls, right? We got the non-farming payrolls news come out, and then boom, price just started aggressively moving up. It was looking really nice until that happened, because you know, we had this sort of push away, not the most nicest, to be honest, because this is very corrective as well, but then we had this sort of continuation in terms of hourly. We didn't get the commitment, aggressive push up, was waiting for the retrace back in. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, and we just went. So at the moment, the bigger picture is playing. We might get even better price for the short anyway. Positioning may be better, sizing might be better, who knows. Right now, we just have to wait and see what happens. Will price make its way all the way up here before we get the sell? And I think for that reason, once again, UJ, you're going to make it on watch. And then ZAR. Oh, last but not least, honestly, USD ZAR. Come on, for a second, you've got to really appreciate USD ZAR for getting to where it is right now. Honestly, it's looking phenomenal. We have this price over here. Will we tap into it? Most probably. Been looking at it for a long time, honestly. Before I remember looking at this. Let's just take that off. Let's replay this. And then, you know, we're basically sitting here. And then, you know, all of a sudden, price was there. Price tapped into it. We had the retrace on the high. Look what price did. Price tapped into it and then retraced, and then we played it out. Just sold off. It came back up. Didn't quite come up again, and then we're just in for a monster of a run. But price did not fully commit. Now I have two sort of theories behind this one, and the main theory I have is that this is going to be nice for sure. I mean, I feel sorry for the South African rand because it's going to get annihilated. No, it's not. Sorry, the US dollar is going to get annihilated against the South African rand, which is cool. But I want to see how this goes. Is it going to be aggressive, or are we going to get all the way down here? Because boy, I'm going to South Africa. Shit, it's looking good. We'll move into this section here. That's very nice, and then we come back up. We're looking at it on the monthly. Not bad. I don't know. Anyway, that's like the full extent of what could potentially happen right now. I think I'm just a bit excited when I see this pair. I think for sure I want to put it on watch. You know, for sure. I think out of the US pairs, the rand is looking 10 out of 10. Honestly, it needs time though. It's the only thing that bothers me. If I go to the weekly, I'm in such a good area. It makes no sense not to have this on watch for sure. But there's going to be so much opportunity as well. You know, I think something which is kind of just a nice little bit is just look at how price, when it previously came to this area, how much opportunity did we have, you know, to get involved. If we just really break it down, daily structures, I think probably will be the ones where you can actually hold longer term. But then if we go into the hourly, which I think it may or may not be able. Okay, yeah, I can go into the hourly. This is right. Yeah. Okay, so hourly wise, yeah, I'm just gonna plot on the ones. Yeah, I mean, fuck. Don't even know, man. It's just there's a lot of opportunity in here. I can see them straight away. It's just like I said, if you go off and just do a little task and you draw through these, you know, and just kind of plot them on your charts, and then you kind of decide on what patterns you do and do not take. Yeah, I mean, wow, it gets me a bit excited. Anyway, I need to go back and analyze this a lot more. I think more preparation is what I need in order to get really involved on this. This one, I think, interesting. Don't know if I would have been able to. Let's have a little look at that bit of price. I mean, we're at the end of the video now, so we might as well make a little bit of fun out of it. Let's have a little look over here. Yeah, maybe could have seen it like this, but then you would have questioned yourself quite a lot and been like, oh, why am I taking it from there? I think more so you would have had it like this, and then just looked at it and been like, okay, fine. But all in all, I think the real point was just that hook point there. And not really worried too much about all of this, and just seeing how price reacted, and then probably gone to the 4 hour and seen that, you know, we had that nice little push away. Probably on the daily it was even nicer. Yeah, for sure. That was it. Do you know what, we're seeing this as well somewhere else? So this sort of price action we see here, and then let's just see how price followed, you know. And that's how price followed from that formation over there. Now there was another pair. Was it EA? It was definitely something here. It must have been, yeah, GN. Oh, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, honestly. Need to be staying sharp for this one. This is going to be the golden trade for sure. This is the golden trade. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.